Next up on the Straight Up R&D podcast.
I took the train 7 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday.
They run crazy on a Saturday too.
Get on the train. Boom. No delays. Oh, I was surprised. No delays. Sit down. 2 minutes later, a damn nut job come on the train. And I'm like, I'm there, and he just talking, like he's talking and he's cursing and he's like, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You trying to fight me now? Like he's saying all of this stuff to himself. And there's a little Asian dude minding his business, reading a book. This dude jumped out of his seat and like tried to make the Asian dude flinch. The man almost dropped his book on the ground, bro. And I'm like, and he goes up in his face, yo, you want me to fuck you up? Huh? And he's like, and you know what I mean? And the guy's like trying to like not make eye contact with him. And he's in the dude's face. Like the guy's face is here and he's like this. And I'm like, bro, like, and I'm looking around. Everybody else is just chilling, like it's nothing. I'm like, bro, this is a problem. Yeah. I'm like, anyhow, this guy had done this to me, he would have been getting choked. Like, I'm so serious.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Yo, what's happening? What's happening?
Welcome to another episode. This is a very special episode.
Very special one.
Of the Straight Up R&D podcast. I'm your host, D.
And I'm Rich.
And we got a little announcement. We officially hit 300 subs.
300. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, my man. Going at this shit. A year? Or how long has it been? A year or 2 years?
About to be 2 years come December.
About to be 2 years December. And, we growing at a pace that we're proud of. We'll see what we'll be when we hit the 2 year mark. But 300 subs. We noticing the views going up on a long form content.
On the long form content. That's crazy.
Which I'm proud of. Which we are definitely proud of. The shorts are doing great numbers. Noticing some engagement. I was even noticing getting a comment from a short that we put up months ago.
Yeah, I saw some activity on much older stuff too. Yo, we're even getting a lot of views on the Kamala versus Trump election day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm like, people are still watching that.
People still watching that stuff, so we appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, really appreciate that. We really appreciate it. Every single 300 subscriber, thanks for sticking with us. Continue to stick with us, and we're gonna keep delivering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all with us in the beginning. We're gonna keep doing this shit, and eventually, 300 gonna turn into 300,000.
Yes, sir. Then to 3 mil. But yeah, we're trying to make it to the top. But as you know, we gotta go through the regular schlingo, even on the historical monumental mark. This is a Straight Up and R&D podcast where we keep it real, raw, uncut, straight up with opinions based on motherfucking facts. And the number one rule on this podcast is we do not give a fuck about your feelings.
At all, but we appreciate the support.
Yes, we appreciate the support. So make it 301, 2, 3, or however many of y'all is watching right now. Subscribe to the channel. And welcome to episode 62.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Hit that like button as well. So we got to jump into some important breaking news. Sean Diddy, Diddy Bop, No Diddy, Diddy Combs. They've reached a verdict on his case with the racketeering, conspiracy, and all the abuse, domestic violence, and all that stuff that Diddy was being charged with. So they had a jury that had to deliberate a couple of times because they didn't agree on a few things. So right now, I'm glad the day is over now. It's freaking late now that we're recording this, but now we know the solid news, what the verdict is. So he was charged with 5 counts. 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, which the jury found him not guilty. Count 2, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. And this is with Cassie. He was found not guilty.
Crazy.
Count number 3, transportation to engage in prostitution with Cassie. He has been found guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. And this is with someone that went by the name of Jane, which was a previous girlfriend of his. Found not guilty. And the last count, transportation to engage in prostitution with the same Jane person, a previous girlfriend. The jury finds him guilty. So out of 5 counts, he's only guilty on 2. The biggest one was a racketeering conspiracy, aka a RICO charge. You know, the big RICO that a lot of these rappers been getting locked up and hit up with.
Yeah.
He didn't get the RICO because the RICO would have put him in for life.
Yeah, that would have put him away.
Yeah, so he would have been done. But I'm a bit disappointed about the sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion with Cassie because we saw the video.
Yeah, that's why I said that's crazy.
Yeah, you know, we saw the video of him abusing her and, you know, kicking her and hiring prostitutes to have sex with her. Like, that stuff was just, like, absolutely insane. And, you know, here's where, and I've said this before on the podcast, she was also a part of it.
Yeah, and I think that's where that comes in, where the verdict comes in. It seems like, all right, we understand you were abused, but it seems like you also enjoyed it at certain points, and you was partnering with him for all this freaky stuff that y'all were doing. So it's at some points it's like, all right, this was a solid consensual relationship that y'all just both partaking in the freak nasty shit.
And it's like, I think it would have been more plausible if it was, if the count wasn't like sex trafficking by force or fraud. Maybe it was domestic violence.
Yeah.
You know, a couple fighting. Now she's being forced to do these acts against her will. But then eventually she started to just do it just to please him because she was afraid. I'd understand that part being a charge rather than he calling him a sex trafficker. Like that right there is way off because Cassie was a part of it. You know, and if anything, the both of them should be doing time for that.
Right.
You know, so I think he would probably only get maybe 8 years out of this whole thing. I think the maximum, if he gets charged to the max on both count 3 and count 5.
I saw they pushing for 20.
It's 20, so 10 years for each one. So 10 years for Cassie, 10 years for Jane. That's the max. That's 20 years. I don't think he's gonna get that. I think he's gonna walk out with 8. And he'll have to do maybe some probation, some therapy.
You think he'll get out early?
Yeah, he'll get time served because he's done a year now.
Yeah, I can't believe he's been in for a year. It seemed like it wasn't even that long.
Come September will be a year. I think he went in on September 2024. And yeah, come September will be a year. He'll get time served. He's been denied bail, so he's not getting that. So, you know, he turned himself in. They got to look at that too. He turned himself in. And, yeah, you know, he may get parole after a certain amount of years. He might be on parole. Again, he's a billionaire. He's a high status dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's some little no-name person. So he's gonna get the celebrity treatment, and I think he kind of got off on this one.
Oh yeah, definitely did. That's why outside the courtroom, when people heard the verdict, you saw people with bottles of baby oil spraying each other, celebrating because they were happy with the outcome. And you know, I said this on the podcast. multiple times, with the protests and stuff. Like, people got so much damn time on their hands, bro. You out there walk around with baby oil outside of the courthouse waiting to hear Diddy's verdict. I'm like, this man don't give a fuck about what's going on. Like, how do you even have supporters for this? That's my main thing. Who's out there, like, openly supporting Diddy with this case? It's like, bro, go do that shit in silence in your home. Out there looking like an idiot, wiping yourself with baby oil and stuff. I'm like...
Yo, it really surprised me what some people would do, man. Like...
Dumb as fuck.
Like, it's just beyond me.
Dumb as fuck. So, yeah, man. Like, I'm surprised that he got off with this, and now he just got to wait for his sentence. And what you think is next for Diddy? Like, after this?
I think, he's going to lay low for probably about a year. Let it blow over. And just as usual, social media and everybody else going to move on and forget about it and not even realize that it happened. Like, he's not going to do no interviews. I know that.
You see, like, people partnering with him in the future?
Yeah, I see people partnering with him. I see people still doing that. Anywhere they can make money, they may not put him at the face of it, but he can be in the background supporting, or he be, pulling the strings in the back without his name being attached. Right. He's got a lot of connections, and if he's getting acquitted on the count 1, 2, and 4, the other stuff is like, hey, I'm sure all them other billionaires and millionaires do the same damn thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, he probably got friends that
do
were
that,
involved, that did it. You know what I'm saying? They just waiting for him to come home. It's like, man, we ain't get caught, but we gonna support you when you come back. I don't know.
Or we gonna make sure we don't get caught like you did. Like, he's now the example in Hollywood now.
Now them other people probably cleaning their act up like, oh damn, Diddy went down. Let me stop what I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure this person signed the NDA. They signed the NDA 4 years ago, right?
Right. That's still in effect, right? So. All I see it as, he's just gonna cover his ass better. I don't think he's gonna stop.
Yeah, like, how do you even like stop that? Because it seems like this is like a disease or something. Like how some people go to therapy for being overly sexual.
No,
like,
it is a thing though.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
So it's like, how do you control yourself with this? Like, I'm pretty sure he'll still have girls wanted to be him because of his status and wealth. Like, I don't think he'll have any shortage of women looking to be.
Oh, definitely not.
But
look what those R. Kelly girls did. Like,
yeah. So it's like, I think now he might be like, damn, should I engage with this girl? How far can I go? Do I still whip out the baby oil? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I would think he would move different.
I don't think he's gonna move. He's gonna cover his ass differently. That's what he's gonna
do. But
do.
how do you not move different after all of this?
Bro, you're
some
an
people
addict.
don't learn. I know that. Some people don't learn.
You're an addict. You still want to support that habit. So I think he's just gonna be like, all right, now I know not to do this, or nobody ain't gonna know that I'm getting high or that I'm high, because he was walking into board meetings high, tripping out. He had his little Diddy bag with his drugs in it, and he would walk around everywhere with it.
Don't stop. Bad boy.
Don't stop, won't stop. You know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna stop, bro. Bro, imagine like being locked in a room. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just too bad.
Yeah,
It's just too bad.
Go
It's
online and look at it.
Go online, look at it. The charges are public. It's on CBS News, Fox News, MSNBC.
Freakiest trial of the century.
Freakiest trial of the century. This is public information. You guys can all find it. TMZ, all that. But hey, man, I've been saying lock him up because he need to get locked up for that stupidness that he was doing. I don't know why people out there thinking he should be acquitted of all charges. That's wild. Now we got to move on to one of the biggest news that's going on in New York City. I mean, granted, I love this city.
Yeah, we born and raised here.
I love this city, yo. I love this city, but it's kind of depressing what's happening right now. It's not looking good. And I'm talking about the 2025 New York City mayor election. The race is on, and Zohran Mamdani, did I say it right? Because he was shooting shots at people who wasn't saying his name right on the stage.
I was calling him Zohan. Inadvertently, but like I wasn't trying to do it intentionally.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, he'd probably think different.
It is what it is. Shit, people mispronounce my name all the time.
What'd you call him? Zohan. Yeah.
But it's
Zohran. No, now I'm Zohran.
But the thing about it, like, when you go online, I hear so many different types of, pronunciations of his name. When people talking about him, I literally heard somebody call him Zohan before. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yo, this is crazy how information spreads like that. It's
My bad.
Zohan. No, it's Zohran. It's whatever his name is, man. Now I don't even remember what his real name is. I know the last name is Mamdani. So Mr. I'm fucking it up. Mamdani, he's now the Democrat. What do they call it? What's the term that they use?
Oh yeah, the Democratic
nominee. Yeah, he's a Democrat nominee. And I went out to vote. I did, and I learned a lot of stuff.
What you learned?
I learned a lot of stuff. This is my first time voting. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I didn't vote for Obama, didn't vote for Biden, didn't vote for Trump, didn't vote. Right?
How did it feel as a first time voter?
So it felt good. Like, all right, I'm gonna go and try to make my voice heard. Mm-hmm. Right? Even though
threw that shit in the toilet.
Yeah, it's it's really not. But so basically I went up in the school nearby, and of course it's New York. It's never organized. Okay. Go up in there and they like, yeah, whatever. So I told them this, oh, you're in the wrong place. I'm like, okay, but can I still vote? Oh, you actually need to go to whatever street and whatever avenue. And it was 10 minutes away from where I'm at.
Your actual polling site.
My actual polling site. But what's crazy is the one that I was at was closest to my house.
Oh. So it's crazy. It's supposed to be whichever is closest to your address. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, yo, this is, oh, you're actually supposed to be here. I'm like, all right, but I had an hour left.
Oh, okay.
Because the polling sites, the booths, close at 9. It was 8:00. Mind you get off from work. You got to do your little stuff, and you got to run out. I'm like, yo, so you telling me I'm not gonna be able to vote today because I have to drive over there, find parking, get in. He's like, oh, I'm like. So she's like, okay, yeah, well, we'll just update all of that other stuff later or change that stuff later. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, don't turn me back from voting. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to walk anywhere and vote. I'm in the damn city. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Period.
I live here.
You know what I'm saying? Boom. They tell me another piece of bullshit again, bro. Uh-huh. So again, I didn't know it was for Democrat election only. So I was like, but I'm an independent. She's like, oh well, if you don't vote in this one, you can't vote today. You have to wait until November. I'm not gonna be here. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be a done deal. So then, you have to do the absentee ballot and all this other stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Who knows if your vote even gets counted? Who knows? You see what I'm saying? So much fraud and waste that's going on. So I was like, all right, They're like, yeah, you gotta register as a Democrat and this, that. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And then next time I'll change my shit back. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not any of that, but whatever. Did it. And I voted. So I voted. And again, this is on who was on the ballot. I voted for what was his name?
Michael Blake.
Michael Blake. He's out. He lives in Brooklyn. He was working under the Obama administration back then. He had a couple of good points, but again, he was my most favorable from the Democratic side. Mm-hmm. Right?
He seemed more moderate.
He wasn't super far on the left, and he wasn't like, from the debate when I watched him, his whole thing was not forced, on defeating Trump and we're gonna fight Trump and Trump this, Trump that, and
what are you doing for New Yorkers?
What are you doing for New Yorkers? What are you doing for the city? Like, I don't care what the fuck Trump is doing. I don't care what Trump is saying. Like, he can say shit on the federal level, but on a state and local level, I'm here. This affects me directly.
The fact that he even brought that question, I thought it wasted viewers' time.
It's viewers' time. Like, focus on the city. Focus on the damn city. Who cares about all of that extra shit? Who cares? Y'all already gonna spend billions trying to fight him in court already. Like, what's the point? Like, let us hear shit that we want to be taken care of. So he was saying some good stuff, but again, he done, after watching the debate, all of them was horrible. I'm gonna tell you this right now. And the Democratic side, all of them was horrible, but he was the only one that kind of like resonated with me to a certain extent. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with him, even though I know he's not gonna win. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tell you the purpose of me voting this time, right? Uh-huh. The purpose was for the statistics after the fact. To say, okay, well, X percentage of black people in this neighborhood or whatever voted for this guy for these X and Y reasons, right? Versus, voting for Mamdani, and when the polls and the stats come out later, it's like, yeah, most people want to have a free MTA. Like, I don't believe in that. Mm-hmm. I don't think public transportation should be free. That's insane. That's absurd. That's retarded. That's dumb. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, how weird is that supposed to happen? So that was my experience. I voted for those reasons. And general election is coming up in November, and even in the independent party, there's nobody there that's even worth. There's no candidate that's worth a vote, to be honest. Like, I could have not voted and just been fine with that too. Like, honestly, I could have just not do it and been fine with it, because at this point it don't matter, because none of the candidates are even worth the vote.
But you think Mamdani is the worst of them all?
Yes. It's a tie between him and Cuomo. It's a tie between the both of them. I give Cuomo being horrible because he's in the establishment.
And he has a lot to do with the state of New York today.
Exactly. He has a lot to do with the state of how New York is, how he handled the COVID situation. People died and all of that stuff.
And you can't forget about the allegations.
And the allegations, that's one of the biggest things. Like, you can't beat around the bush with that. We can't let him slide on that. You can't slide on that, bro. Like, you shouldn't even be running right now. You know what I'm saying?
But he had a big support. Listen, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
The day of the vote, I was talking to people. 3 people voted for Cuomo. And they were like, listen, they understand that the allegations. I mean, one person straight up said they didn't believe him. Believe in the allegations. They were like, look. And I guess I understand. They were like, this person said, I see so many celebrities getting allegations on sexual harassment, domestic violence and stuff. And a lot of it's turned out to be true. And the time of which these allegations are coming up, they're like, they give the example of Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby got, accused of stuff that happened in the 70s. So they were like, how do you know if it's true? That's not my position. That's what somebody's telling me. So they just kind of like blocked that out, and then they just focused on the policies. They're like, what Cuomo proposed is more realistic than what Mamdani proposed, especially with the safety in the subway system. Cuomo wants to, well, he wanted to, he lost. I think he's still going to run in the general election.
Yeah, he's going to run as an independent.
Which I think is a mistake, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But what he wants to do is have more police present in the subways, you know, for citizens to feel safer. I mean, that's what Eric Adams is doing now, and I think is having a positive impact. I mean, I take the train all the time. Bro, I see them at every stop. And I even see them poke their heads in. And my biggest thing I used to always say, when them train doors closed, somebody go ballistic, there's nothing that you can do. So the fact that I actually saw police coming in every stop, examining to see what's going on, I'm like, that's an improvement. That's what I want. Because like, if you're not coming in the train carts, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's a free for all. Like,
so for me, seeing police present in the subway, I personally felt safer. Cause I was like, I just know if somebody just try to do something, the police is right there, can handle it instantly. So there's me personally, I felt safer. Mamdani, he wants to bring in like social workers and mental health psychiatrists or whatever. And look, there is some evidence to say that, you know, police, they can't handle every case because there's some things like, you know, hey, this guy is tripping out. This is a mental health case. I'm not trained or prepared on how to handle with these people. But at the same time, they still can become violent. Like people who suffering from some type of mental health issues can still become violent. Are those people trained to handle or, you know, to engage in combat? If it gets violent, you could talk to somebody all you want. But if they so far out there and they want to attack you, can you help them? You know what I'm saying? Can you engage with that? I don't think so. And the way he just kind of talked about the police, I'm not raising the budget on the police. And it's kind of just gave me like you're defunding police without saying it. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to leave them be. And then I found that interesting after we had results of police leaving the force in record numbers because, you know, we had the whole defund the police movement. Nobody wanted to become a police. So it's like, in a way, New York kind of have to try to rebuild that force, make it more attractive to want to protect the citizens of the city. And you come in like, I'm not raising the budget. I'm going to keep it where it's at, and I'm going to have these mental health people come in. It's just like, it's not going to make people feel a lot safer.
It's not.
So that's what I was hearing, and that was my take with the mental health thing too. That's what I was hearing on why people want to vote for Cuomo. But yeah, man, it keep going back to things like, man, this stuff sounds good. Free buses? Who don't want to get on the bus for free? Who doesn't? Like, do you want to pay?
Who wants to pay $2.95?
You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want
to pay that?
But then I'm like, all right, how's that going to work? You say you're going to tax the rich. Eric Adams went on Fox and like, he doesn't even have the authority to do that. Eric Adams, the current city mayor, said like, he said that he can't raise nobody's taxes. I think the governor has to do that. And I think...
and she said she's not doing it.
She's not. So it's like, all right, so how are you going to tax them? She's running for re-election too. And I think she's going to win. Like, again, whoever's a Democrat
is going to win.
Is going to win.
It's going to
so
win.
how are you going to work with the governor to raise taxes on people she says she ain't raising taxes on? And then, my thing is too, is like, all right, you got to get so much money to get free public transportation or free buses. How are you also going to get money to make sure it's running correctly? You know what I'm saying?
And upgrades.
Upgrades. Like, money has to be raised for that too. So I just have a lot of questions on how you're going to keep all these promises, bro. Like,
yo, he's going to turn New York City into LA or San Francisco or wherever the heck they got going on over there with the craziness.
And, you know, Cuomo did say he will address the homelessness. Like, he would put anybody in New York, we don't have a terrible homeless issue like San Fran and LA does. But, you know, they are noticeable. Like, if you go on the subway, you're going to see homeless people in the cart or sleeping on the benches and stuff. And that's a part of the reason why people say they feel unsafe. He was going to address that issue. You know, Mamdani, he didn't really say anything about that.
Yeah, because he wants to protect them. Like, oh, you want to live on a train? Go ahead. We'll just send a mental health professional down there to talk to you and keep you company while you're on a train riding around. Like, we're going to pay those guys to hang around. And you know what's crazy? I actually took the train the other day, yo. Mm-hmm. And I went to Manhattan. So I did the whole thing, you know. Oh, instead of paying the congestion toll, take the train, right? This is the first time I'm in Manhattan since, like, this is the first, this is the first time I even walked in Manhattan in, like, almost a year. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I have no reason to be in Manhattan.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But this one time, I went for a little pop-up shop or whatever, and boom. I took the train. 7 a.m. in the morning. Mm-hmm. On a Saturday.
Mm. They run crazy on a Saturday, too.
Get on the train. Boom. No delays. Oh, I was surprised. No delays. Sit down. 2 minutes later, a damn nut job come on the train. And I'm like, I'm there, and he just talking, like he's talking and he's cursing and he's like, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You trying to fight me now? Like he's saying all of this stuff to himself. And there's a little Asian dude minding his business, reading a book. This dude jumped out of his seat and like tried to make the Asian dude flinch. The man almost dropped his book on the ground, bro. And I'm like, and he goes up in his face, yo, you want me to fuck you up? Huh? And he's like, and you know what I mean? And the guy's like trying to like not make eye contact with him. And he's in the dude's face. Like the guy's face is here and he's like this. And I'm like, bro, like, and I'm looking around. Everybody else is just chilling, like it's nothing. I'm like, bro, this is a problem. Yeah. I'm like, anyhow, this guy had done this to me, he would have been getting choked. Like, I'm so serious. I'm so fucking serious. Like, anyhow this man was doing that shit to me, bro, I'd probably be on the news talking about, oh, you choked this man out and he said he couldn't breathe and this, that. Motherfucker, if somebody's trying to threaten you, they're going to kill you. They're going to beat you up. They're going to do this.
How do you expect me to respond?
I'm supposed to let you go and then, like, and expect you to not mean what you say? And people on the train literally just on their phone listening, like, and I'm like, y'all don't see this as a problem? Like, call the police. Get this man off the train. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was crazy, dude. I can't. And I'm like, this is the first time I'm in the train going to Manhattan in how long? And boom.
I see it all the time. I'm always on the train.
Look, I didn't feel... I'm not gonna sit here and say I felt like my life was in danger, because it wasn't that. My issue was
that man felt like his life was in danger.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, that man was like, "What the heck? I'm just trying to read a book and sit down."
So he's literally reading a book, his legs are crossed, and the guy just comes up and he like shuffling the book and almost dropped the shit. And I'm like, yo, like this is crazy. Now, me personally, did I feel like, oh, I'm in an unsafe position where I'm going to get harmed? No, because I know I can defend myself.
Right.
100%. But maybe that guy didn't. Police presence on the train would have been nice. I'm sure that psycho dude wouldn't do that. But you know what it is it's not that they're crazy. I don't think it's because they're crazy anymore. It's because they know they can get away with it. I seen a video of this one guy, he's on the tracks bathing in the dirt and the water and all of that, right? Doing all of this stupidness, right? And they're like, get off the tracks, right? Man had thrown his sweater on the third rail, right? He's doing all of this and wiping it on his face.
Oh my God.
And doing that and putting it in his mouth. And I'm like...
They got all type of diseases.
All types of stuff, man. And then he goes over to the third rail, clearly, neatly pick up his sweater, and then continue walking. So I'm like, you're not crazy. Because if you was crazy, you would have stepped on the third rail and electrocuted yourself. That means you just trying to be dumb. You want attention. They not stupid, bro. They're not stupid. They know they can get away with it.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like, and it also comes back, like, I'm just using common sense. You ever hear, hey, if something's too good to be true, then it usually is. Like, you're promising a lot.
Dude.
You're promising a lot.
Definition of empty dreams.
And then,
Democrats.
you know, with the government, even with the government-owned grocery stores. And I was like, man, you're going to kill these small businesses, these bodegas, these family-owned grocery stores. Like, in my neighborhood, this is nice family-owned grocery store. Or, you know, yeah, family-run grocery store, black business. And the whole thing they're trying to do is provide healthier options to the community. So, literally, I go in Whole Foods time to time, and the type of meat and the type of, you know, ingredients and food that they're providing at Whole Foods, they provide there also. They're trying to be, you know, make the community healthier. And I just started to think about that. I'm like, man, like, that business will get obliterated if you have a government-owned grocery store that just offering these cheaper prices that they just can't compete with. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't know. I just started to think about that. And then you're just going to have more people just being heavily reliant on the government. So there's going to be some people relying on the government for their rent, for their food, the way they pay for their food. So food stamps, and then paying for buying their food from the store, for transportation. It's like, how much more are you going to be relying on the government for? And I just don't know how he's going to pull this off. And, you know, a lot of young voters came out to support him. That's why he won. A lot of young people came out to support him.
Bro, but they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They hear stabilize, freezing rent, freezing all that. They think, oh, yeah. No, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, man, I don't know. So that's why, look, it was two bad choices because it was really between him and Como. That's what it was. Everybody there was just there to show face. I can't remember the guy with glasses, what his name was. It was a black guy. I was watching the debate. Every time
Zakari or something like that.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice dude, but every time he spoke, it was just like saying he just rehearsed.
Weak.
You know what I'm saying?
Weak.
I was like, come on, brother, you gotta come better than that. So it was, you know, really just between them two. I thought Como was gonna win just because of the name recognition, and there are, you know, a lot of New Yorkers who supported him, and he didn't. But he's still gonna run, and I think that's a mistake because it's too many people going against Mamdani. If you would have had just one person, like Eric Adams, just, you know, Eric Adams versus Mamdani, there would have been a better chance because now there's going to be some people voting for Como, some people voting for Adams. Curtis Lewa is the lone Republican candidate. And then, yeah, you got three potential people going against Mamdani. And those votes going to be spread around. So this is why Mamdani's going to win in a landslide. If you just have one person, I think Eric Adams is the only option. If it would have just been Eric Adams, then those votes could have just went to him, and then you would have had a tougher fight. Mm-hmm. I think Mamdani would have still won, but at least you had a puncher's chance. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, it is what it is.
So, come general election day, are you going to vote?
I think I still vote. I don't, you know, I know I said on the pod I always will vote. And, you know, fortunately, the last couple of people I voted for, you know, like it just didn't really count. It didn't count. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'll vote for who I just don't know who to vote for though. That's the thing. Like Mamdani is a no. Como, I ain't really interested in you. Eric Adams, it's like, look, my tone a little bit changed on Eric Adams over a little bit, but at the same time, like you still weren't really that good. And then, Curtis Lee, I was like, bro, New York, they're deep blue. You're just not you're just not going to win. You know what I mean? Like it's just they're not even listening to you. Like they're not listening to you.
No.
So I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
Just do a coin toss at the booth.
Like heads, tails. See what happens.
Or do it like do what some Kamala voters did. Like, oh, she's a woman, or she's black, or or I don't know, some fictitious reasoning. Oh, he's a Scorpio. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, man. I just don't know. So I'm excited for the debates. Let's see how they campaign.
I want to see what Adams have to say.
Adams been on Fox, bro, and I'm like, man, you on Fox? Like them Democrats ain't looking at Fox, bro. Like
they not.
They see you on Fox, like, oh, I'm definitely not voting for Adams. You know what I mean? Like, which I think is fine to diversify the platforms you appear on, but.
He's independent now, so he could do that.
Yeah, he could do that now, yeah.
But I don't know. And I remember I did say on this podcast that I was going to vote, so I held my word. On the podcast. I did say I'm going to vote, and I did. All right, so that's done. But in the end, it really didn't do anything. It's like the masses in New York would have to like come to grips with what can be done in this city and what is actually reality. Okay? Free buses, not reality. Freezing rent, not reality. Raising taxes, not reality. Those are 3 big points Mamdani is running off of.
I want to know how he's going to work with Kathy Hochul. Because like they're 2 different types of Democrats.
And he's already on Trump's shit list.
Oh my God. Trump already said he's going to have to get arrested.
Dude, now nothing is going to happen.
Like, I don't know. Like, Kat Hochul is more of a, like, corporate Democrat, I guess I'll say. Like, she's a part of that establishment. Mamdani, I've been seeing Democrats speak out against him. He's a socialist Democrat, similar to AOC in a way. And I just don't know, like, how they're going to work together. And I don't know. I just see a lot of empty promises, bro. And I don't know how that's going to go. And, yeah.
I tell you, look, this city's going to get run to the ground, bro. This guy is going to get run. It's going to get run like it was in Toronto. Toronto was, I heard their prime minister, however their government is structured, it didn't work out well. And things were more expensive for people in Canada and Toronto. So I think the same thing is going to happen here. It's going to get more expensive, and the city's going to get in more debt. There's no way we're going to be able to make money and be able to afford to pay for the endless pit hole of the MTA. And like you said, the food stamps, supermarkets, like that basically defeats competition all around you, and then not even that, it drives up the cost of goods because, some people are going to want better shit, but I can't buy it at this store because I don't have the WIC or the whatever. Like, it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. He can't win.
Oh, he's going to win. Like,
he can't win. He can't win.
I'm prepared for myself for him.
Because I remember even in the debate, they were complaining, saying, "Yo, what he's doing will make a lot of people leave New York and go to Florida," because that was a big problem. we lost a lot of New Yorkers to Florida and the South.
Yeah, I've been seeing that too. Some people have been saying no, then they're going to stay because he's only proposing a 2% raise on taxes. But I'm like, I'll wait and see. I'll see who's right. Once he gets in, I'll see who. I'll wait and see if people are staying or leaving. Because he also made another comment that billionaires should not exist. And then he also said in the same breath that he wants to work with those billionaires. I'm like, so you're going to tell them that you shouldn't exist, but you also want to work with them. And these are the people that you're going to be taxing. You know what I mean? So
And
like,
I just
don't know. I just don't know, bro. Like, I'll wait and see, you know, what happens. Unless Eric Adams pull off a huge upset, he's the only person I see realistically that can beat him. But I don't see that because them same young people, they're going to come out and vote for Mamdani hard.
They're going to vote. He's young. He's 33.
Yeah, he's mad young.
Mad young. So I think that's also why he's going to get a lot of support from the younger generation. Like, oh, he understands us, you know, like, but he doesn't know how government works.
So I'm just on the wait and see mode. No, I ain't really even trying to bash him. I'm just giving you my opinion. Like, I just feel like these are questions that New Yorkers should really be asking themselves. I'm like, all right, how you going to do this? I'm like, everything about to be free now? Like, you know, like,
yeah.
free. You want to freeze rents? And then I'm like, all right, you freeze rents. Are you going to freeze those mortgage insurance payments going up? You want to freeze those, you know, like, what I'm trying to say. Like if something happens to the building and the cost of those goods go up, you want to freeze those? Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance.
You want to freeze that? You know, like.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like there are greedy I'm not even trying to like say that. There are greedy, disgusting landlords. But some landlords raise rent because costs are going. I'm like, yo, if their mortgage goes up, they have to charge, you know, a higher rent to combat that.
Hey, and if I'm a landlord and I hear there's a rent freeze, yeah, I'm gonna try to lock in that $3,500 a month for a 1-bedroom.
And oh my God, for real.
So you could get frozen at $3,500.
And then like, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't know. So
yeah,
y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think he's about to be better for the city? Or he just gonna be horrible?
Hey, I did my part. I'm out of this. I honestly don't care anymore. Like
I know you said
really,
you're gonna be gone in November, but if you were here, will you vote? Will you have voted?
Yeah. Regardless, I was gonna vote. Regardless.
Okay.
Regardless, I wanted to make it a point to do it because at least general federal or general election for the presidency. Does it affect us? Yes, but not us.
Not like local. These are more important.
Yeah, these are more. This is more important. This we can feel the pain if it's bad. You know, like we feel it. But you know, I wanted to make it a point to vote in at least one, and I am. But at the end of the day, what I think a lot of people are not gonna agree with. You know, they're just gonna. Yeah, this should be free, and yeah, raise the taxes on the rich, and yeah, congestion pricing. Yes, we need it. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones championing that stuff. Like I don't agree with that stuff, you know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. Like I said, I'm waiting and seeing. Yeah, and even then with the federal elections. Not that you could predict it, but you could predict how your city is going to vote. So there are some people who voted for Trump in New York. It didn't matter. New York went blue. So it's like,
what's the point?
If you live in certain states, it's like it's not going to matter. The swing states matter. So
if you don't live in a swing state, then it don't matter.
You know what I mean? But versus, you know, local and state level elections, anything could really happen because, you know, you got fresh new candidates And you could say like, all right, I like this person more. People could really rally up behind this one person, and boom, you have who you voted for. So this is like a lot more important. And like, I'm not saying the federal level is not important, but this affects our lives a lot more.
Yeah. And I just hope next time around we have better candidates. That's really boiled down. Like, they could be good Democrats. I think there's good Democrats out there.
Yeah, moderate leaning, realistic.
If we get a good Democrat, then I can, sure. But this batch of candidates was trash. Absolute trash. But in more exciting news, enough about politics for now. Carnival cruise.
Oh yeah.
I guess there's I want to say there's really a black people problem that's going on with those cruises.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never been on one. Was very close to going on one, but
I've been on a Carnival cruise.
COVID happened. But yeah, share your experience. I mean, what's
Well, I don't have the experience they have now because I went on it the top of 2020, like right before COVID happened, but it didn't spread out in this country yet. I remember when I boarded, they were like, have you been to China within the past month or past couple of weeks? That was the question. I was like,
man's just like, I eat Chinese food.
So COVID was a thing, but the country wasn't shut down yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people, and I think we got a good deal because, people were hesitant on going out and stuff. So we just went. And it was calm. It wasn't crowded. It was calm. So my experience is way different from what people are experiencing now. It was a calm cruise. I would never do a cruise again. I'm just not a fan of cruises.
Yeah, sure. Because I've never done it. It was just boring.
Everybody vacations different. Me, if I'm going to another country, I want to sit there and experience it for a couple of days. I want to. With a cruise, we went to the Bahamas, and I think we had 6-7 hours just there. And then we had to hurry up and rush back to the ship. And then, you're on the cruise and you just stuck. I mean, yeah, they got some entertainment there. You could go to the club or comedy shows and, they got the pool and food and stuff. But it's just like we were in a room with no windows. And I'm just like, you could pay for a window one, but it's got to be upgraded. I'm like, why everybody don't got windows? And you can't bring a bottle on board. At the time, I think they even changed it. I can't remember. At the time, they only allowed you to bring wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're kind of controlling of what you could bring because they want you to purchase that drink package. Mm-hmm. So it's just and then you got to pay for Wi-Fi. So I didn't have any Wi-Fi. So I couldn't talk to my family or anything while we're on the boat. And, my girlfriend, who's my wife now, it was her birthday. So she couldn't receive calls or anything from her family because we didn't pay for the Wi-Fi. So I was just like, bro, what am I here for?
In the middle of the ocean, can't do nothing. Just sit in a box.
I can see it if you want to do a friend's trip because it's kind of inexpensive and not saying you can't have a good time, but it's just where I'm at in life right now, I'm catching a flight somewhere, book a B&B, book a telly, go on a resort, explore the country. That's what I'm gonna do now. Mm-hmm. I'm just not a fan of cruises. It is what it is. But back to the topic.
Yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is a firsthand review from a black man, right? So I don't know. I never been on one, but go ahead. Back to the topic.
The way the Carnival cruises are now, I couldn't do it. Bro, first of all, they're crowded. I looked at some videos. People are stacked up at the pool, stacked up on top of each other. I'm like, this looks uncomfortable.
That water must be musty.
And it's cheap, right? It's cheap enough where you're inviting so many different classes of people.
Whoa.
You're inviting so many different classes of people. I say that.
Whoa.
And I can see this too. of like they're banning like your personal speakers. And I'm telling you from how my experience, that would annoy me because I've been on, I stayed at like some cheap resorts before or cheaper hotels, you know, younger days. And there were people who would like be bumping their own music and I'm just trying to chill. I'm like, man, can you shut the fuck up? You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You having your fun, but like I don't want to hear your music and I don't want to hear, hey, hey, hey. I'm here to relax. This is me.
Oh, hey.
Y'all might like it. Me, if I'm going somewhere, I'm there to relax. Like,
Let's work.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh.
And then sometimes they be bumping that music real loud, bro. I was like, bro, what are you doing, man? So I can see people complaining like, yo, like they are ruining my vacation. So I can see why they would ban that. And I also hear they banning hip hop in the clubs.
Oh, nah.
And
I got to hear that codeine crazy.
yeah. And I guess it got too wild. I don't really know why, but I guess it was just getting too wild when hip hop came on. So, you know, at first, I ain't gonna hold you. At first, I'm like, man, they're just targeting black people. But then once I kind of like, you know, just sat down and thought to think about it and look at the videos of what happened on the cruises, I'm like, oh, nah. They trying to get like control because Carnival, like if you ask anybody about Carnival, it's known as the Spirit Airlines of the Sea. And people say how ghetto it is. Literally. They say it's extremely ghetto. And from the looks of it, it is. I didn't have that experience because of COVID, so nobody was on it. I remember that boat being empty. Like, I remember that boat being empty, but to now, like it looks like how I don't want a vacation.
Damn. So I can't even listen to Not Like Us on their.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw in the comments
like,
some people say they just came off a Carnival cruise and they still have hip hop. Like I don't know. I'm just going by what we see online.
And I heard too that they're like now you can't bring anything on the plane like liquids or alcohol or anything. But
Which is crazy. Like,
people were like putting alcohol in their lotion bottle.
Yeah, no, I saw that online. No, like literally, I saw that. I literally saw that. People were like buy stuff that's disguised as mouthwash, but you know, because this is what they do. Like,
yeah,
you gotta before you go on the boat. And I got lucky because I ain't gonna hold you. I got there mad late, so they were just like, "Hey, just go." You were supposed to give them your luggage, and I guess they scan it and check people's luggages, and they deliver the luggage to your room, so it will be there in front of your door. That's how they're able to see like if you brought, you know, contraband. You know, contraband if you bought alcohol or you know whatever. And some of it I do get. Come like you're in the middle of the sea. You don't want people to get obliterated and they falling off the boat. You know, so I could get like, you know, they want controlled amounts of alcohol going to people's systems. Even with the drink package, I think it's like 12 drinks a day you can have, which is still a lot of fucking drinks. Oh. Well, it depends on how it's made. I don't know if it's strong or not. Like,
I was gonna say like that could be a problem. If it was some weak sauce, like
you know? So it's like, bro, I just got so much limits on how our vacation going on a cruise. So, yeah, bro, I just think they need to. I guess they're trying to rebrand
the Spirit of Cruise Ships, Carnival, because that's the same one I was gonna go on, and then I didn't go because at that point, around that time, they were like, literally 2 weeks later, they announced they're not gonna allow boats to dock.
The what?
Like the cruise line during COVID. They didn't allow the boats to dock, and people had to stay on the boat.
Yeah. I remember seeing that once I finished with the cruise. Yeah,
people ended up dying on the boat, and I'm like, yeah. So I dodged the bullet on that one because it was supposed to go to the Bahamas, actually. So I really wanted to go, and that was my chance, and everything was lining up. It's crazy. You're waiting for this. You're hyped. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna go for the first time. Couldn't go. Glad I didn't. But now, would I go? Probably not.
Like, and I don't want to sit here and say, like, would I ever go on another cruise again? The way I'm feeling, no. But if I have a friend or a group of friends and they say, like, hey, they really want to go on a cruise, and, you know, it is a cheaper alternative to some, you know, to flying and staying at a nice resort, I would think about it maybe, but, like, it's like, I don't know. I just really just don't know, bro. But yeah, man, like, I just think people just need to learn how to act. Stop thinking that you're the only person on the cruise. Respect others' personal space as well. Like, and like, that's how I am too. Like, I'm always very considerate. I always show people respect because I want that in return. That's literally how I am. So when I see people who just blasting music next to me, I'm just like, you're just not being really considerate. Or even like how some people just like, bro, I remember I was in Florida and I'm eating dinner with my family. We're at a water park and I'm eating, no, not even dinner. It was like lunch. You know, we took a lunch break. Mm-hmm. And this guy next to us, and the tables weren't like too far spread out. He lights up a Black and Mild.
Are you kidding me?
And, you know, I had my little cousins with me. My uncle, my little cousins, wife, family.
One of yours?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, he lights up a Black and Mild. And we're like, are you serious? So my uncle, I was about to go over there because he didn't say nothing fast enough. He didn't say something fast enough. But he got up and like, yo, bro, like, can you put that out?
Oh, my God.
Like, we're trying to eat, and we don't smoke Black and Milds or cigarettes, and, like, you got kids here. You know what I mean? So that's another example of, like, yo, I'm trying to be on a peaceful vacation, and you coming with your nonsense, and it's bothering me. Mm. So that's why I'm thinking Carnival, like, yo, we got to, like, get these people in line, bro. They allow some nonsense.
The smoking and where kids is eating and stuff like that's pretty damn disrespectful. That's pretty damn disrespectful.
And that's how people were feeling on these Carnival cruises. I think it was the staff and other people complaining like, this is just getting out of hand. Mm-hmm. This is just getting out of hand. So, yeah, bro.
Wow. I didn't think it would have been like that bad. Cause the last time I seen when you mentioned the smoking thing, I was at a restaurant eating and they have like an outdoor dining piece, and the people are there sitting at the table smoking a cigarette, and I'm like at a table ahead, like beside them, in front of them, and the wind is blowing the smoke over to me, and I'm like, I didn't get my food yet, but like we were about to order, and I'm like, yo, like, I can't do this. Like, I'm about to start eating and you smoking a cigarette and the ashes is flying up in the air. Like, what kind of craziness is this? You know? So I call the waitress. I'm like, yo, like, why do you have people smoking? Oh, you know, we're on the outside portion and they're able to smoke. I'm like, but this is still a restaurant. Like, you still have people eating. Oh, you know, if you want to go inside, it's better, this, that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going inside. And I went inside with the AC and chilled, and they gave me a good table. But, like, I think it's very inconsiderate for people to smoke when you're at a restaurant with food.
But that's the type of behavior that's going on in the Carnival cruises.
You know, that's
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, not even only the smoking thing. Again, like, when you look at the videos of some of the Carnival cruises, bro, it's like, bro, this don't look fun.
I seen one where a fight broke out at the terminal, like they boarded off the
Oh yeah, and fights been happening. Yeah,
fights, like a whole thing. I'm like, and you know, a lot of them got arrested.
Yeah,
a lot of them got arrested for that.
So again, imagine you bringing your family on a cruise to have fun, and then, you know, there's fights breaking out, there's loud music everywhere you go because people got their speakers, and it's like, this is not family friendly. You know what I mean? Like, this is just not how they want vacation. And then now your cruise line just being known for hot ghetto mess. Like, that's not what you want, bro. And yeah, so And there's this documentary on Netflix with Carnival. Something happened to the bathrooms, and people that had to poop, they had to poop in bags and leave it on the outside of their rooms.
Oh my gosh!
So that's another reason why I don't really want to even get on cruises, because if the toilet goes out, you're done. So there were people throwing up. It actually became like a hazard thing. There was poop outside of people's rooms. I want to watch it.
It's so disgusting.
You can watch it on Netflix now. I saw people talking about it. And yeah, so that's why Carnival ain't got a good look right now.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure that's happened on cruises before. Like, if the bathroom goes out, listen, bro, if I'm in my hotel room and the bathroom go out, I'm going to just go to a restaurant. I'm like, yo, I have like at least an option to like, damn, can y'all switch me to another room? Damn.
So wait, what do they do? Collect all of that shit and what?
I feel so bad for that staff. I don't know what they did with it.
I know they threw it overboard. I know they threw that off a board, bro.
Yeah.
There's no room on that ship you're gonna seclude.
That staff, they had to quit.
A bunch of shit.
I know mad of them quit. They were like, I ain't signing up for this.
I gotta see that.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna look that up on X too, bro. Like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So you telling me they hired a shit collector, bro?
I don't know if they hired. They're just like, if you work here, you better be collecting it.
That is crazy. That's crazy. Shit collector, bro. That's insane. Hey, man, at least the job market is good. You can get that type of job.
Look. Yeah, so the poop cruise refers to the 2013 Carnival Triumph cruise that became infamous after an engine room fire left the ship without power and plumbing in the Gulf of Mexico.
Asterisk, Gulf of America.
I knew he was going to say that. But
that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, man. So, like, that's why it's like, bro, I'm good. I'm good off the cruises, because that's just a huge... You can't go nowhere.
Bro, I've not even heard of that on a plane. That's even, like, worse.
You can't... You're trapped in the middle of the ocean. You can't go to the bathroom.
Wait. So
you got your family pooping in bags.
So you go out for dinner, and you just walking past other people's room with the
poop
on the ground.
Yeah.
And that didn't stink, like.
Yeah, people were reported throwing up.
Oh man, that is so. I gotta look into that. I can't believe they actually. It would be one thing, just throw it overboard. You know what I mean? At that point, that's a hazard, a health hazard.
Yes.
You have people cooking food and eating in there. Like, what?
And I would be wondering, like, the people who collecting the poop, are these same people
cooking your
serving
food?
my food? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's a lot of people on the ship. You can't just leave that up to the janitor, or I can't even remember if you even get like a service to clean your rooms. Like how in hotels you got, cleaning service when you exit. I can't remember if you even get that on a cruise. I can't remember if we got that or not. So it's like they're probably just a person here and there that's, there for like general cleaning up of like the cruise main areas and stuff like that. But I don't think there's really people who they have enough staff to just collect hundreds of people of poop, or however much people the boat holds. Like that there gotta be some other reinforcements. That's what I would think.
That's insane, man. That's absolutely insane. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about that part, because I just can't wrap my head around that bags of poop outside your room door.
4,000 passengers. It's called Train Wreck Poop Cruise. So
4,000 people.
An engine fire leaves 4,000 passengers stranded. Bro, there was no way people weren't making my food and also collecting poop. 4,000
Bro, imagine being in there, eating your food and smelling poop.
Now I haven't watched it. I might watch it. I might watch it after this episode.
I think I'm gonna watch that tonight, y'all. Like,
yeah, I think I'm gonna watch it now. But I just can't think of a way that they're not saying like, yo, we need some reinforcement. So I know you were here to flip burgers, but we need some help to pick up this poop. I don't know. That's a giant shit. 4,000.
that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit, man.
Ugh.
Wow.
In bags.
Just sitting there.
Carnival ain't got a good look right now, yo.
Well, they won't be seeing me on there. I can tell you that much. Black people, get your shit together. No pun intended. But get it together, man. Like we can't. They're literally saying black people are the problem, you know,
Without saying
it. And at this point, y'all need to realize y'all the problem. You know, like we gotta do better. No smoking, no fighting, no, you know what I'm saying? Trying to break the rules and bring more liquor than you're supposed to be and hiding it and then going on TikTok and showing everybody how you did it. You know, just keep it PG. If it's, I think Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, those are more like adult type. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like Royal Caribbean supposed to be like more relaxing. Some people say it's boring, but yeah, I'm fine with that. Like if I'm going there, just relax, chill. So those are supposed to be a bit more mature cruise ships.
Wow. But is there anything else you wanna cover?
No, that was a good episode. I think I'm good for right now.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, guys, let us know what you think about poop bags outside of your hotel door. The Diddy updates on the verdict. Do you think it was just? Do you think the victims were able to get their due justice in court? And this mayoral election in New York City. If you guys are out here in New York, what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna vote? Does it matter to vote? Like, there's gonna be a Democrat anyway, but you know, it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter. But do you think Mamdani is a good candidate for the Democratic nomination? Could Cuomo pull back and gain back the lead, or Adams reign as the mayor of New York City? I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff that's a little bit too late, but you know, let us know what you guys think, and thank you again for 300 subscribers. Excuse me. Thanks for rocking with us for over a year, and we're just gonna keep giving you that hot fire, you know, poop in the bag content. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ain't got nothing else. I'm Rich. I'm signing out.
D signing out.
See you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Later, y'all.